This is the Easy Focus lithium battery generator. Right now it's hooked up to a solar panel. Now what it comes with is a sort of awkward set of cables, so some of this stuff is just being kind of jury-rigged together, but basically there's a solar input here which also works for the auto. So the solar input comes with two MC4 connectors that go directly to a panel, but I'm not doing that. I'm using the auto cable, this guy here, which is a cigar plug. Alright, so that's just going to a socket. Socket comes out, goes to an XT60 female. That goes into the black box, which is basically a bidirectional amp meter that shows the watts and the accumulated watts and a lot of other fancy stuff. So that's right there. We're getting 12.29 volts and 4 amps, so about 51 watts. And this all ends up back at the solar panel, which is here. So this stuff comes out of the solar panel down this wire, goes into the black box for the amp meter. The amp meter is wireless, by the way, so that's kind of cool. And then we go to a plug that allows me to use the auto socket, or the solar and the auto are the same, but the auto comes with a lighter plug and the solar comes with MC4 connectors. But what you end up with is 4 amps out of a standard 100 watt panel, which is probably less than the thing is putting out, so it may be limited to 50 watts, which is kind of a nice round number. And it seems to put out a little more when you plug it into the electrical system of the vehicle, which doesn't really make sense, because whatever the limit is, it should be the limit. But this thing is kind of run down, or not very run down, rather. It's kind of full, so I'm not sure what it shows for like capacity here. Well, it doesn't show the battery capacity during the charge, so I don't know. Okay, that gives me 85. When I turn on the DC circuits, it shows the meter. It had been 70 and now it's 85.6, so it's clearly charging pretty quickly. So can turn the DC circuits off again. So this thing has a lot of little bells and whistles. The most useful thing is the fact that it's DC and AC. So it's DC 12 volts and it's AC 120 volts. So it's basically an inverter in here for about 500 watts peak, 300 watts, whatever it is. 288 watt hour. Let's see, your AC, well, it's on here somewhere. Anyway, there it is. 500 watts peak. 500 watts rated, 1000 watts peak, so not bad. Okay, so 4 USB and 4 coaxial type standard DC jacks. The lamp, which is handy. And then on this side you have 3 AC outlets, and you have an AC input, which is a charging input. You have a fan, and you have the DC connector, which is some kind of DIN jobby. So all in all, you have a 500 watt inverter to supply AC, but it wouldn't supply it very long at 500 watts. And then you have charging circuits that let you use solar panels or your car alternator through this lighter socket, and then you have the DC that goes in through the solar panel. So all in all, you've got a lot of little options here, and all the jacks are built in and the inverter's inside the box. And you know, you get the kit, and It's not a bad size. I mean, here's my hand, and you can kind of see how big that is. It's just not very big, and it's 7 pounds, and if you use a couple of 50-watt flex panels, you could carry the thing off into the sun and charge, and it would be a pretty good deal. So it's not a bad way to go for something like a van. It's very simple. It's all there, in other words. It's just plug and play, I guess is the word they like to use.